Wait, Bungie Bethesda hires talented Skyrim modder? What? Okay, I gotta look at this, seeing as I'm on the topic. Guess I'll pause the game and just in case like a bat decides to like come bite my face. Okay. Yeah, Fallscar. Bungie, not Bethesda, hired the modder for Fallscar. Huh. Good for him. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back a bit and like why I get kind of annoyed at the developers in these situations. Like for Skyrim, for Bethesda especially, Skyrim and Fallout and whatnot. In every case for those developers, the mods specifically drive like crazy amounts of buyers to the game. If Skyrim didn't have any modding, how many of you guys would have actually bought Skyrim, of those of you that bought Skyrim? Probably a fair amount, honestly. But probably less so. And yes, I know I'm saying like 1,000 times here. Look, it's hard to talk about things without a script while you're playing a goddamn video game that is probably one of the hardest games I've ever played. Hello! Okay, we have completely changed our build now. I think I got our build. Okay, Shell, stop.
Sorry, I noticed it.
Ah, crap. Opposite direction. Haha! Blocked! Haha! There we go. Still play it vanilla. Okay, so, like, there are definitely people that would play it vanilla. But, like, from my perspective, I don't think I'd actually touch a single Bethesda game if it weren't for the mods. Or at least, I would be much more critical of them. Fallout, for example, is a perfect example of, you know, a game that I absolutely detested until I started modding it, and then I'm like, wait a second, this game's amazing. But it wasn't until I downloaded those mods that it actually became worth something to me. But so, you know, with the modders, they brought people back. The guy that made Fallscar probably did more for Skyrim sales than Skyrim did, apart from maybe dropping the price point for quite a while. Same thing with all the mods and so on and so forth. And it always, like, rubs me the wrong way a little bit when the developers are like, hey, thanks, bye, and they just kind of move on. It's just like, that's why the paid mod thing bothers me, because I get the feeling the modders aren't going to get what they actually deserve from it. Because, yeah, I gladly pay for, well, I don't know. It'd be a little bit hard to pay a ton of money for mods on Fallout. It would have to depend. Like, a number of the mods on Fallout definitely wouldn't be worth, like, much money at all. How's it no different from DLC after release? Not really. Actually, DLC after release I find is kind of shitty and stupid. Honestly, I hate DLC to begin with. In a lot of cases, it's just, well, kind of exploitative. I especially hate the ones where it's just like, game's out! Oh, by the way, 20 bucks for an extra, like, cosmetic pack that we totally could put into the game, but we took it out because we wanted more money, and it's just like, oh, come on. Or, like, the mission pack, or... Oh, what's a good example? Oh, yeah, here's a great example of really, really exploitative, pre-ordering. I don't know how many of you guys have been, looking at the new Life is Strange prequel, I guess. But, the new Life is Strange prequel, so you can buy the game, and get all 3 episodes, but if you want to get the bonus episode, you have to pre-order it, too, at full price, and so, well, I guess just slightly below full price. I think it's like 8% off, but, like, that's so shitty. Just sell me the full game, for crying out loud. Yeah, Horse Armor, for Oblivion. Like, that's a freaking mod, and they were charging, what, like, $5 on it? I don't know, it's just so... it's part of the reason why I, like, refuse to do anything Grand Theft Auto related at this point. Because at this point, Grand Theft Auto is effectively a vehicle to sell shark cards. It's why I like indie so much, because generally every single thing an indie developer does is at least moderately well, not morally reprehensible. It's why I cheer for companies like AA companies for making cool things and then sticking to it. It's why I like that's entirely my weakness as a person. Shell's wondering why I buy skin packs for Persona, and the answer is...
Especially after the thing.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely should not throw money at Atlas anymore. But I do, because I'm a sucker for punishment, and a hypocrite too. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the campaign ends in a cliffhanger. Yep. Oh, shoot. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, going back to my rant about, like, developers actually, like, making a good game and just sticking with it. It's really weird to see Nintendo, start putting out DLC for once. But it's hard to kind of... Well, that guy's gone. I guess it's kind of hard for me to hate on Nintendo too much because Breath of the Wild was already a masterpiece, and so I don't feel too guilty about throwing more money at this situation. But like, I got some serious bones to pick with who's a great example. Oh, freaking well, I guess anything from 2K. Evolve was an atrocity, and should not have been made the way it was made. What do we want? Skill points, or let's keep going HP. The more beef I've got, the more I can survive. This is probably the elevator down? Yeah, it looks like it is. But like, I love the Borderlands games to some degree, but the idea of paying... God, like, if you bought everything the moment it was new... Well, I'm not pointing myself in that direction. Like, if you bought everything new for Borderlands 2, how much would it have cost you? 60 bucks for the base game, 30 bucks for the season pass, another 30 bucks for season pass 2, plus probably another 20-30 bucks for unassociated DLCs. Like, in what world is that okay? It's why, like, I don't mind cosmetics as much, because that kind of is fine. I don't know. Cosmetics aren't, like, necessarily part of a game, and I miss the days where you could, like, unlock something just through regular gameplay. Yeah, way over $200. Like, that's not... That's super exploitative. It's why I don't really enjoy the... It's why I don't really enjoy the concept behind Borderlands 3, because I'm not even sure if I'd play it, because... They're not going to send me a copy, generally. If they did, maybe I'd be more inclined to do so, but I'd still feel guilty for, like, effectively soapboxing a sort of petty thievery? I don't know. It's why, like, I generally recommend people wait on games. Unless people, like, really, really want to play them. Let's keep going down. I don't think there's anything more than that. Just trying to think of, like, other good examples where, like, things are kind of exploitative and not okay. It was like, what's a good example of a game that, like, 60 bucks over and done with? Oh, shit, Prey. Which is hilarious to me because Prey is Bethesda. Freaking... I really hope at some point Bethesda, like, crumbles under its own weight somehow, and Arcane Studios and, ID and... Shit, is Wolfenstein Doom... Dishonored? Wow. They have so many cool titles. Under one of the shittiest companies on the market right now. Why? Yeah, that's why I never play freemium games generally. I've actually... Oh, God. You guys would not believe the amount of developers that have... You guys would not believe the amount of developers that have, like, sent me, like, requests to cover their, like, freemium games, like, but we'll give you cash money. I'm like, no thank you. I'm not interested in being shouting out your like free-to-play MMO nonsense. Mobile devs. That's why I never touch mobile games, because God, it just makes me feel icky. I hate how some parts of the game development world is so like nickel and dimey. For the most part, it's fine, which is good, because I don't know, could be a lot worse. Let's see. Just trying to think of like more topics to like roll from this one. Didn't I review like one mobile game? Okay, so the one exception for like mobile games that I will review are mobile ports. Those kind of exist in this like weird... Wasted that one. Those exist in kind of like a weird gray area for me, because there are some like legitimately good mobile ports out there. Hell, there's some legitimately good mobile games too. Like Monument Valley. I will shout out Monument Valley to the day I'm done YouTubing, because that game is honestly perfect. And they made a second one recently, which is great. But like, most mobile games just exist to get like the couple of really rich people to pay for their services, and then force everybody else to kind of exist to glorify those like rich people-ish. I'm sure I'm like simplifying the issue, but Jesus Christ, free-to-play got bad. I like Warframe's free-to-play. Like, yeah, okay, it is like a serious grind and stuff like that, but you can kind of sit down and just be like, all right, well, I have accomplished what I needed to do, and now I'm just going to be satisfied forever. Did I know they ported Binding of Isaac to mobile? Nope. Game Boy, I knew about that. Fallout Shelters. I should actually sit down and play Fallout Shelters at some point. That game seems like it's legitimately good, though I have no idea if it, does, like, the stupid in-app purchasing type stuff. Because anytime a game's, like, in-app purchases, I'm like, well, I'm done. I had a Chinese developer, trying to hawk their, what was it? Their, like, competitive RTS to me, and I looked at it and it's like, in-app purchases. Okay, let's take a look at these in-app purchases, and it's like, buy the factions, and they're like, nope. Like, that kind of works in League of Legends, because they have, like, a bunch of viable free ones immediately available, but, like, one of the reviews was like, by the way, the best faction costs 20 bucks, and I'm like, ah, joke. Not touching that. Best mobile game is The World Ends With You. It's a lie. It's a DS game and you know it. Damn good DS game, honestly. Though, honestly, I heard the mobile version was actually better, so there's that. Okay. It gives stuff as quests and task rewards. Ugh. See, I would much rather just have, like, an alternate mobile market that's just like, pay 20 bucks, get the whole goddamn game. Ow. That'd feel so much better to me. Way more fun. Because it'd be nice if you could just load up the game and be like, yep, no in-app purchases, just a decent, fun, and interesting game. Unfortunately, free-to-play is like such a weird cash cow. I almost worked at a free-to-play gaming company for a little while. Ugh, that would have been bad. It was hard enough, like, going in for the interview and finding out that they were interviewing me and 4 other people at the same time. Oh, yee. Yeah, let's hold off on that. Let's just light them on fire. There we go. Problem solved. Yeah, TF2. TF2 is an absolutely perfect example of a free-to-play game. That wasn't free-to-play to begin with, so I don't know, that one's a little bit harder. What's a good example? Well, Dota. Dota and League of Legends, I would say, are pretty okay. League of Legends is a little guilty, if only because generally whenever a new champion comes out, they're in balance as hell. Okay. No. Group interviews are a suckfest. Group interviews are a lie. They're not actually interviews. They're just being shitty. I don't know. See, would I review mobile Binding of Isaac? Why? Why not just play the full version? Like, also, I can't even review mobile anything. Let's see. There's a $100 app on iPad that still has in-apps. Ugh. God. Can you imagine being the developers of that? It's just like, we made this cool thing. Alright, now to milk this puppy until it's dry, and then keep milking it with, like, a sequel that's no different, apart from maybe looking slightly better. Let's see, am I gonna play the Horizon Zero Dawn expansion? Hell yeah! Though, I will admit, I was not a fan of the ending because it was such a, like, perfect sequel bait of just, like, you're not done with the story yet, but you more or less resolved everything that you're immediately dealing with. And I'm like, well, alright, sequel baiting, I guess. I don't know. Sequel baiting always, bugs me. Especially when the game's like, oh god, what's a great example? Well, perfect example of bad sequel baiting is, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Ugh. I don't know how many of you guys saw my series for that one. But they ended it with just being like, this like giant screw you mystery ending that baits a sequel that will probably never happen, considering they're making a completely new Xenoblade out later this year, actually. Unless they're like cycling multiple teams here, which is possible. Now, I suck at avoiding his, like, hook. That's okay. Let's see. What do we want? Health? Nah, let's go skills. At this point, we could use some extra damage there. Okay. What's an example of a game that does DLC really well? I guess I would say, Rocket League does DLC really well, or at least I admire that they don't just go ultra shitty with it. It's nice to see like a really good game being supported for years after the fact, and they're just like, well, I mean, just buy like a car every once in a while. It's like, yep, works perfectly. Okay. Oh, we want to go over around to the left and stuff like that. I don't know. I guess if you're going to have in-app purchases, have them be cosmetic. Then you will actually probably get me to buy them, because I'm, like Shell was guilting me for, I'm a bit of a sucker for cool-looking cosmetics. It's a good example of a, well, I mean, Warframe. Well, sort of. Yeah, no, definitely Warframe. God, Warframe is like the perfect example of a game that's like, yeah, it's really cool and you can grind through it, but also you can pay us money for some extra really cool-looking shit. And I'm like, yes. Actually, come to think of it, that does paid modding. I don't know how many of you guys have played Warframe or even like know about it. But they've got a really cool thing, in my opinion, that is it's, oh shoot, Tenogen, I think it's called. Path of Exile is a great example of. The only problem with Path of Exile is the cash shop is hideous and impossible to maneuver. But yeah, that is also a perfect free-to-play game as far as I'm concerned. The only problem is they really need to work on that UI. I think the latest patch or like expansion that they're doing fixes it. Can I stream more Warframe? Maybe. The problem is whenever I stream Warframe, I only get like 50 people showing up, and right now I got 105, at least on Twitch. Unfortunately, I can't see the YouTube numbers very well, so it's impossible to see. But yeah, so Warframe has Tenogen, which is like pay $5, and it all goes to the modder. I think it all goes to the modder, and I'm like, yep, super down with that. And generally, those are some of the coolest looking cosmetics in the game too, which is super satisfying. I don't know. I don't feel guilty for throwing money at games like that. I wish that they'd clone Destiny to some degree just so I could get more interesting missions. They're getting there. They're getting some weird missions. I just mean the regular grind. I never know what to think about Destiny, specifically, seeing as I'm on the topic. I'm gonna be buying it, but I always feel, like, really weird about, like, their pricing structure. Because on one hand, I'm paying a World of Warcraft subscription that I barely even use, and I know Shell's gonna let me know on that one. But like, honestly, I guess I've never minded the Destiny setup, because it's like, yeah, MMO that is just kind of expensive. Could be worse. Could have an actual monthly fee and stuff like that. Let's see. What piss you off? Starbound. Oh. Okay, that's something completely different. Man, it bugged me so much how angry people were at Starbound back when that first came out. They were pretty upfront and honest about the entire process, and everybody's like, it's gonna be Terraria! Terraria 2! Ow. Already. Yep. And then when it was, you know, early access and buggy and they had to delete characters and stuff, everybody was like super pissy about it. I'm like, this is what they said would have to be. They were very, very honest. Let's see. Could have an actual monthly fee. Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, it doesn't have one now. They kind of learned their lesson. I just don't want to play another theme park MMO either. That's one of the other problems. Theme park MMOs are just so mid-2000s, end of 2000s. Like, say what you want about Destiny, but they managed to create kind of a similar type of content, while keeping it generally a little bit more fresh and interesting, just because it's actually got... Ow, why did I do that? You know, it's actually got its kind of own dynamic combat. It's an FPS, alright? I just want to play an MMO that plays like Dark Souls. That's why I'm super psyched for Ashen. Ashen looks amazing. It's not an MMO, admittedly, but like anything that's multiplayer Dark Souls related is so good. I've never seen this room layout before. This is weird. They must have had a new update recently, but I don't know if they actually changed much. Flammable oil, extra strength versus extra health. And extra skills. We'll go with that. But yeah, I'm going to be a sucker and probably pick up Destiny 2 on launch. Let's see. Does the key not open the door on the far right as well? I don't think it does. You know, I could go check it, actually. I've been under the impression that it doesn't. Yeah, something's blocking the door. I think we have to wait until a later patch to get in there, which is totally fine. Well, sort of. Hope it comes soon, because there's only so much more of this game that I can play before I completely run out of, like, cool things to do. Well, time to donate more blood to the... Blip, blip, blip. This is bad. There we go. Okay. But yeah, no, I will probably be picking up Destiny on PC. And actually, that might be one of the few MMOs I ever play consistently on stream, just because fun. But also, that would probably be something that I'd play with fans, just because I can't imagine Bird... I guess Keith is probably going to be able to keep up with me on that. Shell might. Probably.
I like MMOs.
Yeah, Shell likes MMOs way more than I do. I used to like him, but I put in a couple hundred hours into World of Warcraft, and I'm just like, well, brain. Let's see, what do I think about Arma? Unfortunately, I've never played an Arma game. I watched Soviet Womble, and if I could, like, get that kind of experience, maybe I'd enjoy it. But for the most part, I'm just... Defense breach? I got a strength of 6! What is this garbage? Well, I guess I'll dodge him. Brought the shield along, so I wouldn't have to worry about this. Whoa, hi. Probably should have actually considered picking up a different skill instead of, no, it works. The only problem is my combo is busted here. But that's fine. I think I've already taken damage from this guy. Yeah, absolutely have. Oh, yeah. Ow. Okay, burn for me, baby. Yeah, just like that. Alright, I'm just gonna hang out up here, I guess. There we go. Health is looking fine. It'd be nice if there was an achievement that was like, defeat the Watcher without healing once. That would be much more doable than don't take damage on the Watcher. I guess we'll have to wait until they add more upgrade tiers or something. Ow. Yeah, not taking damage on this guy is brutal. I should probably get away from the center, really. Okay, there we go. I love the flaming ground. It makes life a lot easier. There we go. Doing good. Let's see, have I seen the cover negating rounds? Yep. Oh yeah, I have watched... I think I've watched every single Soviet Womble video at this point. No, I have not seen all of his DayZ stuff. But he is an absolutely brilliant YouTuber. I don't fanboy often over other YouTubers just because, like, kind of once you live it, some of the illusion is broken. That freaking guy and his group of dumb friends are, like, one of the only YouTubers that I'd, like, that I fawn over being like, I wish that was me. Someday, maybe. But I mean, I've got my own friends that I can play with that are just about as good. I would not trade Bird for anybody else. Or Keith, for that matter. Or Shell. But I'm always open to new YouTubers saying hi to me and being like, can we play games? And I'd be like, yes. It's so weird playing video games for a living. You end up with, like, all these, like, bizarre complexes and, like, social constructs that you kind of have to obey. I don't know... I don't know how to react to, like, 90% of it. Oh, why am I ranting about this in the middle of a boss fight with a build that's not going to break the shit out of him? I mean, we're fine. I can probably beat this guy just with a vanilla melee weapon. Honestly. God, I love the fact that this game has Bloodborne healing. There we go. There we go. Okay, he's almost dead. Get back here. No, I'm here to murder you. Get back. There's murder afoot. Murder afoot. Eh. I was really hoping he'd be viable for hitting. Yeah. There we go. Just stay there. Oh, I guess this works. Murder afoot. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Those can breach my defenses too? Wow, that's shitty. I really hate the whole defense breach thing. There he goes. Okay, let's grab all these. And we're good. Okay. I guess I'll put it all in the Nutcracker. At this point, none of these things are particularly good for, bleh. Yeah, none of those are any good anymore. I probably will start over. Maybe with the next patch we'll do, like, a start over and only get the blueprints we like. Or something like that. Let's see. Did I ever suffer through Star Wars The Old Republic with the free-to-play thing? We started to. We started a multiplayer series with, Star Wars The Old Republic, and it was really fun, but also, like, really bad. The problem is you can't,
I really liked the starship thing.
Yeah, anytime you put 4 players into one dialogue, things broke hard. That game was not built for 4 players questing entirely through and trying to film the whole thing. Because we'd run around doing quests for like maybe 30 minutes and come back and do like an hour of dialogue. Because everybody had their own cutscenes that they had to watch, and it was rough. It was like really rough. Anyway, did I die to the boss? No. I died after the boss. The game kills you after a certain point because, hey, you can't progress past that, that dialogue, which sucks, but that's okay.